You can do almost everything right after a crash and still watch your case lose value, all because of one normal mistake in the first week. Most people think the insurance company is looking for the truth. They're not. They're looking for anything they can point to later and say, that's why we're not paying. I'm Tim Miley. I'm a personal injury attorney here in West Virginia, and I've seen these same mistakes cost good people real money over and over again. So let's walk through the most common ones, what they sound like, when they happen, and how to avoid them so that you don't accidentally undercut your medical bills, your lost wages, and the value of your pain and suffering before your claim even gets off the ground. Number one, not calling the police. This happens all the time. You're in a fender bender on I-64 outside of Charleston or turning off a road near Morgantown. You're shaken up. The other driver says, let's just handle this ourselves. It sounds easier, doesn't it? But if you don't call the police, you lose your first and best piece of evidence. A police report creates an official record of what happened, who was involved, and what was said at the accident scene. Insurance companies rely heavily on that report. Without it, you're left with a he said, she said circumstance. And insurance companies love uncertainty. They use it to reduce or deny claims. Even if you don't think you're hurt, make sure you call the police. Injuries often show up hours or days later, and sometimes that friendly driver changes their story once they realize that they are at fault. West Virginia law requires reporting accidents involving injuries or significant property damage. But even if it seems minor, make the call anyway. It could save you thousands later. Number two, admitting fault. Now, we're polite here in West Virginia. We say sorry out of habit. But after a crash, those words can cost you. West Virginia follows a modified comparative fault rule. That means if you're found partly responsible, your compensation is reduced. If you're more than 50% at fault, you recover nothing. Insurance adjusters look for apologies, and they look for uncertainty. They look for statements like, I didn't see you, or I should have been paying more attention. Even if you were just being courteous, those words can be twisted into an admission. Instead, exchange information, check on everyone's safety, and stick to the facts. Let the police determine fault. I once had a client who apologized at the scene simply out of habit. The other driver ran a red light, but the apology became the centerpiece of the insurance company's defense. We still resolved the case, but it took far longer than it should have. Number three, waiting to get medical care. This is a big one. You feel mostly okay, maybe sore, maybe shaken up. So you think, I'll just see how I feel tomorrow. Here's the problem. Insurance companies look for gaps in treatment. If you wait days before seeing a doctor, they'll argue your injuries weren't serious or weren't caused by the accident at all. Whiplash, concussions, and soft tissue injuries often take time to appear. I once represented a woman from Huntington who was rear-ended. She didn't go to the emergency room because she felt fine at first. A few days later, the headaches started. The insurance company tried to argue that her injuries weren't related to the crash because she didn't seek immediate treatment. We proved her case, but it was a hard fight. If you're in a crash, get checked out. You're not being dramatic, you're protecting your health and creating medical records that connect your injuries directly to the accident. These records matter. Number four, talking to the other driver's insurance company. This is one of the biggest traps. Within days, sometimes even hours, you'll get a call from the other driver's insurance adjuster. Now, they'll sound friendly. They'll say they just need your side of the story. They may ask for a recorded statement, but remember this, their job is to save the insurance company money. Every word you say can be used against you and will. I once had a client in Beckley who told an adjuster, I'm feeling better today. He was just being polite, but that sentence turned into, your injuries must not be serious by the insurance company. The settlement offer dropped dramatically. In West Virginia, you are not required to give a recorded statement to the other driver's insurance company. You should not speak with them before speaking with an attorney. Your own insurance company may require cooperation, but that's different. But the other side does not get free access to your words. Let a lawyer handle those conversations. Number five, accepting the first settlement offer. This one is tempting. You're missing work, medical bills are coming in, and your car may still be in the shop. Then the insurance company offers you a check. It might even seem fair at first, but the first offer is almost never full value of your claim. They're hoping you settle before you know how serious your injuries are, or before you complete treatment, or before you understand future medical needs or lost wages. Once you accept and sign a release, your case is over. There's no going back. I've seen people settle for a few $1,000s only to need surgery weeks later. In West Virginia, you generally have 2 years from the accident to settle your claim or file a lawsuit. You do not have to rush. Take the time to understand the full extent of your injuries. Make sure your lost wages, your future care, and pain and suffering are all considered. Don't let the insurance company shortchange you. Now let's recap the mistakes that cost people real money in West Virginia. Not calling the police, admitting fault, delaying medical care, talking to the other driver's insurance company, and accepting the first offer. Avoid these and you dramatically increase your chances of a full and fair recovery. If you want to know what to do after being injured in a truck accident, where the rules and the stakes are even higher, watch my last video. What should I do after being injured in a truck accident? Because when commercial vehicles are involved, the insurance companies fight even harder. I'll see you over there.